Thank you for joining us tonight. You're now with me, Shamira Tour for TVS Nightline. Let's begin with the headlines tonight. Sarawak Infectious Diseases Centre (SIDC) will serve as a focal point to accelerate Sarawak's biomedical sector. The establishment is dedicated as a centre for research, development and commercialisation of products and services to combat communicable diseases for both Sarawak and all other countries across the globe.
It is envisaged that the establishment of SIDC will catalyze development of biomedical industries in Sarawak, being the start of a BIOHUB integrating hospitals, research center, academia and the biopark.
Abang Johari added, the centre, including other related complexes, will provide a complete pipeline from discovery to testing and clinical trials through production plus human capital training to provide highly skilled workforce for the biomedical industry. However, a glaring void exists, the scarcity of experts in the field.
The idea of having our own research facility is meant for us to explore the potential of our rich biodiversity. The only missing link that we have is the scientists and the experts. This is where the facility the government can provide, but we have to interact and collaborate with the experts throughout the world. Because as you know, COVID-19 was not expected, and therefore we have to be far-sighted. And this, our state government wants to make sure that any calamity or diseases that comes after this, we are well prepared.
SIDC is located in a strategic location as Kota Samarahan is home to several universities, research centres and the Sarawak Biodiversity Park. While being easily accessible from Kuching will also attract investors and experts from around the world to work and contribute to Sarawak's economy.
That last week I had engagement from people in US who are coming to invest in producing all this medical equipment, including PPE, other devices to invest in Bintulu, and medical products to be used in this region. And that is their market. It is a NASDAQ-listed company that comes over to Sarawak. I asked them, why choose our side? You know, there are a lot of other places here. They said, because we understand Sarawak is very stable, people are friendly, we can work with them. At the same time, you have the facilities for us to move forward and to do further research on biomedical field.
Meanwhile, in a similar development, the Sarawak Infectious Disease Centre (SIDC) will be equipped with a Biosafety Level 3 or BSL3 laboratories with a total cost of 200 million ringgit on a 40-acre land. It will be commonly used for research and diagnostic work involving microorganisms that can be transmitted by aerosols and could cause severe diseases such as the bird flu, yellow fever and COVID-19.
There are 3 such laboratories in Malaysia, and the mobile ones, one of which actually is in Kuching, that is under Dr. Alan Pong. This is not the integrated, it's a mobile, doctor, and is heavily used for current COVID-19 screening.
BSL refers to biocontainment precautions required to isolate dangerous biological agents in an enclosed laboratory facility, and the levels of containment range from BSL Level 1 to BSL Level 4. Establishing a Level 4 BSL facility would require it to be guarded by the military, Manyin said, as it deals with highly dangerous viruses such as the Ebola and Marburg virus. There are currently about 59 BSL-4 worldwide, including in Singapore but none in Malaysia. Meanwhile, Manyin added the SIDC will focus on two core themes.
Developing the capacity and knowledge to respond to future pandemics and emerging threats through human capital development and impactful research. Second, translating biomedical research into applications such as diagnostic tools, treatments, and vaccines.
Sarawak, known for its diverse culture, are among the reasons to its richness in unique ethnic cuisine. The diverse yet tasty indulgence of Sarawak's authentic taste can soon be experienced by Singaporeans, as well as people from around the world, as Sarawak's heritage dish such as Sarawak laksa paste, soft shell crabs, bird's nest, smoked fish sambal, Borneo honey, Kenyalang-coloured highland rice, local teas, and a wide range of the famous Sarawak pepper will be showcased at the Restaurant Asia 2021 held at the Marina Bay Sands Expo Convention and Exhibition Centre in Singapore from November 18 to 20 of this year.
Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office Singapore, or STATOS, said Restaurant Asia 2021 is a one-stop sourcing platform for the finest ingredients servicing the Singapore restaurant and catering industry. Organized by the Restaurant Association of Singapore in partnership with Conference and Exhibition Management Services, the event truly is a trade show created by the industry for the industry, where buyers can see, experience, and actually test and taste smart and sustainable food and beverage F&B solutions and ingredients. Statos Trade and Investment Manager T.C. Tan said the timing of the event was just perfect for Sarawak to secure new export orders as its capital, Kuching, had just been announced as UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy. He added that 6 industry players will be joining in person while 20 others have provided product samples as well as information to be showcased at the event. Through the generosity of the Sarawak government, Statos was able to provide free physical booth space and online marketing via the virtual exhibition for eligible Sarawak food production companies interested in participating in the event. Statos Chief Executive Officer Chew Chang-Guan said the event was another platform for them to facilitate and support Sarawak's small and medium enterprises to broaden their business exposure to international markets. Started in June 2019, Statos provides advisory services to businesses wishing to benefit from Singapore's position as a regional economic gateway and Sarawak's diverse range of resources.
And now on to the next update. The outcome of a study and parameters for the proposed amendments of the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010, Act 711, will be tabled to the Cabinet, scheduled for next month. Now, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Parliament and Law, Dr. Wan Junaidi Tunku Jaafar said 7 issues involving amendments to several sections of the Law Act were still being studied by the Working Committee.
Wan Junaidi said the working committee comprised of enforcement agencies, private companies, government-linked companies GLCs, civil society organizations CSOs, and non-governmental organizations NGOs. Wan Junaidi said of the 73,545 complaints received by enforcement agencies since 2011 until now, the number of informants involved was only 527 people. According to him, several engagement sessions with stakeholders were held, including with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, and the Government Accountability Project, GAP. Act 711 was enacted to combat corruption and other misconduct by encouraging and facilitating whistleblowers to make disclosures of improper conduct, protecting persons making disclosures from harmful acts, and ensuring that such disclosures are investigated and managed appropriately. It is also in line with the government's initiative with the signing of the United Nations Conventions Against Corruption, UNCAC, on September 20, 2008.
Meanwhile, Commercialization entails positive impact to the community-based tourism or CBT in Sarawak. Now coupled with craft development program organized by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture will certainly enhance this sector. Now its Minister Dr. Sri Nancy Shukri is confident that Sarawakians could generate lucrative income making and selling crafts, as data showed sales of more than 11.7 million ringgit has been obtained since January 1 this year.
The Batang Sadong Member of Parliament said, apart from enjoying Sarawak's richness in flora and fauna, tourists are also searching for a different type of tourism experience, such as purchasing unique craft goods, which each area in the state may fully utilize. She stated that MOTAC, through agencies such as the Sarawak branch of the Malaysian Handicraft Development Corporation, will actively empower community-based tourism, which is one of the segments under ecotourism. Aside from that, in order to better promote Sarawak to the rest of the globe, Nancy also stated that MOTAC intends to emphasize what the state has to offer foreign tourists at Expo 2020 Dubai, which began in October. Emphasizing on this, she said MOTAC will fully utilize the main slot in week 13 of the Expo to promote Sarawak as an ecotourism-based destination, as well as a venue for international conferences and exhibitions, which have generated 457 million ringgit in revenue for Sarawak over the last 10 years. To intensify this effort, MOTAC had met with the state government to coordinate and drive the development of 9 ecotourism clusters to guarantee that the areas could be developed sustainably through CBT activities, while also allowing for the holistic development of the homestay experience program. Nancy said this move is important to support the state government's aspiration to achieve its vision of becoming a developed state by 2030.
Now, lack of proper documentation of biodiversity in Sarawak could lead to a biodiversity crisis, species loss and even extinction. Hence, concerted efforts are urgently needed to better manage the biodiversity conservation for the benefit of all. To this, the Sarawak government, through the Ministry of Urban Development and Natural Resources, is taking steps to sustainably manage its biodiversity in line with Sarawak's post-COVID-19 development strategy to uphold the forestry sector.
It was the aspirations to make Sarawak a centre of excellence in biodiversity conservation, said the Ministry of Urban Development and Natural Resources Permanent Secretary, Datu Zaidi Mahdi, whose text speech was read by Ministry's Head of Division Administration, Management Services and Finance, Hairani Muhammad Ismail, when officiating the SATRAP's PUBS workshop today.
In line with Sarawak's post-COVID-19 development strategy, by 2030, the forestry sector aims to be globally recognized in sustainable management of tropical forests and biodiversity conservation, while enhancing the rapid growth of timber industry. One of the aspirations is to make Sarawak a centre of excellence in biodiversity conservation.
Noting the vast landmass in the state, he said Sarawak is an ideal location for biodiversity studies, as 62% or 6 million hectares of its landmass and 1 million hectares are classified as permanent forest estate and totally protected areas respectively. He said that the recent restructuring of Forest Department Sarawak and Sarawak Forestry Corporation was a way forward for Sarawak government in strategizing the management of natural resources.
The recent restructuring of forestry sector involving 2 agencies under our ministry, i.e. Forest Department Sarawak and Sarawak Forestry Corporation, is a way forward for the Sarawak government in strategizing the management of natural resources. Forest Department Sarawak principal function is on the sustainable management of the permanent forest, where the efforts will contribute to stability of economy, social and environment, whereas Sarawak Forestry Corporation has been entrusted to manage the totally protected areas such as national parks, nature reserves and wildlife sanctuaries, and protect and conserve wildlife in Sarawak.
Jointly organized with Japan, the Science and Technology Research Partnership for Sustainable Development, or SATRAPS, project is focused on the development of a management system for multiple utilization of biodiversity in the tropical rainforest of Sarawak. Among the chief goals of the 5-year project is to develop a protected area management system and to promote the intellectual use of biodiversity. At the same time, a new database management system will be developed to accommodate the biodiversity data.
And now on to the next update. 2 men sustained injuries in a single vehicle collision when their lorry crashed into a tree at Jalan Dema earlier today. According to Fire and Rescue Department of Bomba Sarawak Operations Centre, a distress call was made to notify the incident at around 8:16 a.m. Both male victims who were trapped inside the lorry were successfully extricated from the lorry by firefighters personnel. The 2 victims sustained injuries on their legs and hands and were later sent to the hospital for further action. On the other hand, Sarawak's diversity in its ethnic groups has been recognized as a model, which centers around its unity, empowering Sarawak towards a stable state. Even so, the state government are also making efforts to ensure unity and harmony among community groups are well taken care of. Earlier today, we have an expert discussing topic pertaining harmony and social well-being on Sarawak Decides segment.
Lecturer of Political Science and International Relations from the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, UNIMAS, Professor Dr. Nielsen Ilan Mersat, was of the opinion that the community in Sarawak values the sense of unity among all ethnic groups.
Sarawak kita mempunyai etnik yang banyak dan sudah tentunya mempunyai sentimen-sentimen pengikat etnik-etnik tersebut yang dinamakan sebagai primordial sentiment, dan ini perlu diurus dengan baik untuk mengekalkan keharmonian dan hubungan yang baik di kalangan masyarakat. Dan bagi kita di Sarawak ini bukanlah suatu masalah kerana kita merupakan sebuah negeri contoh di mana wujudnya perpaduan yang begitu tinggi tahapnya di antara di negeri-negeri di Malaysia.
Commenting further, the well-being of the people is vital.
Tapi pokoknya apa yang diperlukan di negeri Sarawak pada masa ini ialah pembangunan yang bersifat inklusif supaya setiap kelompok ataupun setiap kaum dapat merasakan diri mereka sebagai sebahagian daripada rakyat ataupun warga negara Malaysia. Dan dengan ini kita boleh memperkukuhkan lagi keharmonian hubungan kaum dan juga kesejahteraan untuk rakyat.
Pilihan Raya Negeri ke-12 Sarawak. 82 kerusi Dewan Undangan Negeri dipertandingkan. TVS membawakan data, analisis, persembahan menarik serta informasi tentang kesemua Dewan Undangan Negeri. Berita terkini dan komprehensif. Laporan wartawan di lokasi.
Laporan Odlin Ketedi.
Saya Priscilla Chon.
Saya Karizal Afindi.
Laporan Salazar Safia.
Saya Lukman Muhammad.
Laporan daripada saya Jessica Chun.
Ruben Gomez.
Saya Studawi. I'm Haris Zainuddin.
Untuk TVS.
Untuk TVS.
Sarawak Decides hanya di TVS saluran 122.
Hai kita orang, kami Didi, kami Mak Wasak Mary dalam drama bersiri 13 episod Silih-Pilih Cinta. Jadi, boleh lupa nak anda ramai ke? Hanya di TVS, saluran 122 Astro dan MyTV.
Kerajaan Negeri Sarawak di bawah kepimpinan Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari Tun Openg sentiasa komited dalam memastikan setiap penduduk mempunyai bekalan air bersih 24 jam menjelang 2025. Peruntukan sebanyak 107 juta ringgit telah disalurkan bagi melaksanakan projek bekalan air daerah Kabong Pakej 1. Pelaksanaan projek ini mampu menaik taraf sistem bekalan air sedia ada untuk 5,713 isi rumah. Ia dibiayai sepenuhnya oleh kerajaan negeri melalui Kementerian Utiliti Sarawak dan Jabatan Bekalan Air Luar Bandar Sarawak sebagai agensi pelaksana. Dengan sistem yang dinaik taraf ini, penduduk setempat dapat menjalankan kegiatan harian yang memerlukan kemudahan bekalan air 24 jam.
Back to the Nightline with the COVID-19 development. Sarawak continued to record a decrease in COVID-19 infection with 266 cases recorded today compared to Monday's 287 cases. The number of cases recorded today brings the cumulative COVID-19 tally in Sarawak to 247,933 cases. Sarawak Disaster Management Committee (SDMC) announced that of the total, 108 cases were classified as Category 1, while 145 of the total cases were Category 2. Only 13 from the 266 cases registered today were of Categories 3, 4 and 5. Kuching recorded the highest number of cases today with 109 cases, followed by Miri with 48 cases, Sibu 36 cases, Bintulu 19, Lawas 14 cases, while remaining districts recorded cases below the number 10. SDMC also announced 4 deaths recorded in Sarawak between 7 and 15 November. SDMC stated that no new clusters were formed today. On the other hand, Malaysia is ready to become a hub for hepatitis C treatment in the region by offering a combination treatment of Remdesivir and Sofosbuvir at affordable prices. Now, Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the new product for medical tourism was offered following the conditional approval given to Malaysia to become the first country to offer treatment from the combination of the 2 drugs. Khairi said Malaysia will market this treatment to travellers from abroad as it is expected to have a multiplier effect on the economy. He also said the offer was also in line with the World Health Organization's mission to reduce the spread of hepatitis virus infection by 90% and reduce deaths due to the virus by 65% by 2030. Adding that the ministry will also identify hospitals that will be turned into premium hospitals to carry out the initiative.
Khairi remarked that the medical tourism sector also had great potential to boost the economy, which had generated revenue of around 1.7 billion ringgit annually before the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry is targeting 520 million ringgit in revenue due to travel restrictions, while 800 million ringgit target for 2020. Earlier, Khairi launched Malaysia as the destination for hepatitis C treatment promotion, which was also attended by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Economy, Datuk Sri Mustafa Mohammed, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, and MHTC Chief Executive Officer Muhammad Daud Muhammad Arif. Meanwhile, Dr. Nur Hisham said studies on the use of a combination of Remdesivir and Sofosbuvir proved to be up to 97% effective in treating hepatitis C with very low side effects. Previously, treatment that required a compulsory license was only offered in public hospitals, but now it can be done in private hospitals with a voluntary license. The Health Ministry is also in the midst of tracking down more than 400,000 hepatitis C patients in the country.
A 58-year-old man was fined 6,000 ringgit by the Sessions Court in Kuantan after he pleaded guilty to using an uncertified telecommunication equipment on his boat 6 years ago. The radio was a Superstar model SS39 marine radio unit which was not certified required by the Communications and Multimedia Technical Standards Regulations 2000.
Based on the case facts, the radio was uncovered by the Marine Police team in a boat belonging to Yap Ak Seng, a former director of a tugboat company, at 14 nautical miles of Kuala Rompin at 10:45 a.m. on July 3, 2015. It was found that the radio was not certified by SIRIM and the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission's MCMC or other certification agencies. Judge Muhammad Kafli Ali meted out the fine, and the prosecution was carried out by MCMC Prosecuting Officer Nazrul Niza Muhammad Zamari, while Yap was represented by lawyer Norazmi Kasani.
The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah today conferred the Panglima Jasa Negara PJN Award, which carries the title Dato', to Malaysian legendary squash player Dato' Nicol Ann David. The 38-year-old squash legend was among 12 PJN recipients at the second session of the investiture ceremony in conjunction with the official birthday of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, which took place at the Istana Negara today.
International Trade and Industry Ministry Secretary General Datuk Lokman Hakim Ali, who topped the list of recipients, was also conferred the PJN. Among others who also received the Datuk title were Kelantan State Secretary Datuk Nazran Muhammad, Universiti Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia UPNM Vice Chancellor Lieutenant General Datuk Hasagaya Abdullah, former Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Director Datuk Huzair Muhammad, and Royal Malaysia Police Special Branch Director Datuk Zamri Yahya. The second session of the ceremony, which saw 201 recipients receiving their awards and medals, was conducted in the new norm, where guests are required to wear face masks, have their body temperature checked, and scan the MySejahtera QR code at the Istana Negeri Security Hall. Staff of Istana Negara also wore face masks, while seats at Balai Rong Seri were arranged accordingly to ensure physical distancing as set by the Health Ministry.
Now on to the next highlight. Sarawak-born musician Alina Muang will enchant Dubai with the majestic sounds of Sarawak at the Dubai Expo 2020 this week. Now chosen to represent the voice of Malaysian indigenous artists, Alina will be performing numbers from her album Sky Songs and Kelabit, as well as Kenyah folk songs, to a live and virtual audience at the Te Aritini Festival of Indigenous and Tribal People at the City of Gold in Dubai. Alina was also invited to be one of the panelists to discuss the potency of her arts, film and music in maintaining community cohesion, alongside Canadian Indigenous artist Raven Kanaktata and 2020 NZ Women of Influence winner Tube Solomon Tanoa. The Sape player said, as a Kelabit herself, it is an honor to be the ambassador of a tribe and of other Malaysian indigenous group, and aims to amplify indigenous people's voices and aspirations, as well as to forge links with the indigenous people from other countries at this year's Expo. Alina, who is presently championing the cause of recovering Malaysia's endangered languages, has created songs in the Kelabit and Kenyah dialects, both of which are on the verge of extinction. Having received several prizes and honors, Alina is poised to share her methods for reinvigorating her past with a modern touch through music, film and fashion. And that feature concludes TVS Nightline for tonight. Here with me, Cheryl Chamato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good morning.